All right, folks, back on the Great Leonard Show, the final one of this season here, closing out Queens basketball. 23-24 is my man G, and you see him over in the corner. G, what's up, brother? How you doing, man?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good, man. It's March, man. This man's crazy out here, man. Just the NBA, college basketball is all coming to a head.
Yeah, man, it's a great time of the year. Best month of the year. March, always the best, man. We got conference tournaments, which lead into the NCAA tournament, man. It's basketball heaven.
I hear that, G, and I know you're happy. Last time before we talked about getting that road win, the first one of the season at Stetson, man, and man, they won the title, but you all got a victory against them before they did that. But how find accomplishing your team going out to a tough environment in the land and with Coach Jones what he does and getting the victory down at Stetson, man.
Yeah, I thought the guys played exceptionally hard, and their backcourt is phenomenal at Stetson, and we were able to kind of really do an unbelievable job limiting their easy looks, and we were able to attack the paint, get their bigs in foul trouble, which is always a recipe for success on the road.
No doubt, man, and no doubt, man. And you know what? I know people don't like the record. Let's look here, man. You got defeated every night, man, on the road or at home, man. And I know some games on the road kind of got away from you, kind of close to. So it's really not you really think it is, but you really play well on the roads a lot of times. It's against getting the W. But talk about that for us to improve next year of knowing, hey, we can get the job done. We got to be more consistent and more solid in late game and clutch time.
Yeah, I think the trademark of our team has always been our competitive nature, and it starts with practice and having competitive practices and competitive drills. And so I'm not surprised that it carries over to games where our guys are always competing. And when you have a young team and when your oldest player, most experienced player doesn't play, we struggled a little bit executing down the stretch, but I thought we got a ton of great experience. We got not only got that late road win versus Stetson, we also got the conference tournament win, neutral site versus Florida Gulf Coast, and I think it's going to carry a lot of confidence over to our guys going into next year, knowing they can do that on the road.
No doubt, G. And talk about that, man. I know you had a tough game at Gulf Coast prior to the tournament, and then getting to play them on neutral site at Stetson as in the first round there, getting that job against Pat Chambers in his hell of a job, knowing how tough their coach and what he does, been around the game so long. Talk about that, like you said, that importance of seeing your guys push through that game down there and you'll go play Stetson again on their home floor doing their run.
Yeah, I mean, that's where it kind of gets like the NBA when you play those games close, where the adjustments are really what matters. Different, in most college games, it's not about that, but when you play a team, back to back, basically like that, the adjustments you make, and so just changing our post defense and how we guarded it kept them from throwing the ball inside, which made them way more perimeter based, which really helped us because they weren't able to punish us at the rim. And all it took was just a slight adjustment in how we are guarding their big kid who's shooting 70% from the floor. And it was a big deal and a testament to our guys and how hard they worked in that.
And G, I know on the NBA side, we kind of change calls. We play somebody on back to back or real close. We kind of change the calls. So how much do you go and try to change your calls in game one to really what you want to call in game two, in case they charging what you're saying at a certain time as they're watching on the film there.
Yeah, I think it's definitely important that you make some adjustments to what you're doing defensively. I think offensively, they're going to get your calls no matter what. So, not as much tweaks as on your offensive side as your defensive side. And we definitely made some adjustments to what we were doing, but also how we were calling it. And it definitely threw them off balance, which made the difference in the game, to be honest with you. It was a huge win for us and proud of our guys.
And G, and also proud of the guys too against Stetson in the quarters. I mean, let's be honest, usually in the game for most of the games in the game, the score doesn't reflect that to a degree, but you was in the game and had a chance to win there with a shout. So how happy you were with your guys compete against Stetson, knowing that you already beat them there previously, and just knowing they're going to compete like crazy, even though they go your way, but you still had a chance in that game in the quarters there.
Yeah, you know how it is, back-to-back nights where they weren't playing the night before, so they were rested. I thought our guys competed like heck, but in the end, they made more shots than we did. I thought our guys a little tired on their shots and showed a little bit by missing short a few. But the guys never let up or let down, and they kept trying to push, and we were right in it there at the end, and just didn't make enough shots. And sometimes that happens on the road, back-to-backs. I know you guys understand that in the NBA, but proud of our guys and how they competed. But what it teaches our guys is that we got to put ourselves in position that we're not on the road in a back-to-back in the conference tournament that we're at home hosting and that we're the rested team because that'll make all the difference in the world.
No doubt, G. Like you said, traveling in the NBA is like you used to pull up any metric. You know, if you travel, you most likely not gonna have the right legs, the right playing the right way. Second half's gonna wear down. So, like you said, having the ability to be host on your own court, have the ability to rest is so important because and also you know the gym, you know the rims, you know the backdrop, all that stuff is in your favor, and you can actually keep your same schedule that you would have, which is
Yeah.
so key to getting ready for a tournament game.
And that's what when you have a veteran team, and we weren't that veteran, we were younger compared to our league. As we get veteran and we get to host those games, and we're not traveling as much, it'll be a huge difference. And that's what we need to do. We need to set ourselves up that we're hosting tournament games, next year, and I think we're gonna have a team that can do that.
And G, another milestone for you guys, 700 wins in Queens history, man, that you all got, man. How cool is that for you to be the head coach to get 700 wins for the great University of Queens, man?
Man, big deal, big deal. I'm so very fortunate. I tell people all the time, like the past of Queens is amazing. Coaches Dale Lair, Bart Lundy, Barkley Radabaugh, the assistant coaches Josh Schertz, who's now at Indiana State. So many guys that have been and unbelievable. They're unbelievable coaches, and feel like because I've been here so long now that I am a part of the past, but I'm also part of the present and hopefully the future for a long time. And amazing, amazing Queens basketball history. And so very, very fortunate.
And G, one of our past guests, Bryce Cass, been second team All A son, man, all freshman team. And we talked to him earlier this year how happy he was to be able to be there with you, man, and how cool to see Bryce's accolades and his rewards getting that accoladed, man. Because the kid plays hard as heck. I know he loves the game. He loves being there with you guys. So I could see him get rewarded for what he's been doing all year, man.
Man, I mean, very well deserved honor for Bryce, not just first team, all freshman team, but unanimous, which means every coach in the league voted for him, which is a sign of respect to what he did, not just offensively, but also defensively. And he's got such a bright future, and we're very excited to see what he does.
No doubt, G, man. And it kind of for you now as you kind of reevaluate the season, man, and do some self scouting, like kind of what's your goals now going forward from like now through the summer, man? Kind of, as you kind of look to retool this roster and bring in newcomers, and also keep the old guys retaining, getting them ready for next year as well.
My biggest thing is as we reset and the nature of college basketball is, the transfer portal hits and guys leave and you try and keep as much of your core together and then build from there is to continue to build and emphasize culture. And, we've always had a healthy culture here. It's about a healthy competitive environment that promotes improvement, daily improvement, 1% better. And, we need guys that fit that culture, not just players, but coaches and managers and administrators, and have everyone on board 10 toes in on what our culture is about. And so, my biggest emphasis this offseason is going to be to continue to build that culture, to continue to cultivate it and make sure that that is what, is emphasized. Because in the end, I think you win a few games with X's and O's, you win a lot of games with culture and character.
And G, like since how much you improved from last year to this year, which is so great. Like last year after the quarterfinals again last year, but you could have won that game too, against South State, but you was beat up. And this year, man, you look younger team, and you just sitting there improving from last year this year, man. Had to make you happy knowing that what your vision for this program is, knowing that what you're trying to set culture wise is actually working and taking root.
Yeah, I mean, you can definitely see, as we progress through Division One, we're getting the bigger sized players. Bigger's not always better, but in basketball, it really helps not wear you down. You could see that our roster was way more healthy at the end of the year because we had larger human beings. As we progress through this, and every year we need to continue to have our roster advance. It's not that they're better players, but we've got to be able to build a team that is capable of not just competing well in the ASUN, but thriving. And that's what our roster needs to look like. And everything we're going to do is going to be to have that culture, but to be able to win and thrive in the ASUN.
And G, for you, as look back on this year, man. I know it's a little early, but what was kind of your highlight of the year for yourself and the team, man, that really stands out to you?
Yeah, I think this year we built our non-conference schedule a lot different. The first year in Division One, we kind of announced so late that we had to kind of take what games we could get. and we were really trying to prove that we belonged in Division One. Well, this year we scheduled a lot more difficult and a lot different. So, the highlights is obviously going to Duke, going to Clemson, playing the winner of the A10 at Richmond, but also the Big South champions, the Sun Belt champions. So we played the best of the leagues around here, ACC, A10, Big South, Sun Belt. We played the champions of those leagues, and it's something I really believe in, non-conference scheduling, preparing you for league, and I look forward to doing that again next year while being ready to compete and win for an ASUN title.
100%, G. The spring workout start, man, for you guys. Is this gonna be more so trying to work on things from this year or try to answer their games now? Because I know it's kind of different way to do it with the time you have in summertime as well. So how you gonna kind of approach the guys for returning their workouts coming up here real soon?
Yeah, man, we're going to try and add stuff to each guy's bag. You brought up Bryce Cash before, and we're really going to try and have him be more of a primary ball handler and bring the ball up more often and get more into Barkley drives where he gets cut off and he can flip his hips and keep backing a guy down while playmaking. We're going to work on his finishes around the rim. Each guy will be different. We're gonna make each package for each guy. Big Malcolm, we're really going to work on him being more aggressive, getting off the floor faster, turning his shoulders more aggressively so that it's not passive and it's really like he's taking it to a guy. I think will be a huge advantage for him. Chris Ashby, who hit 94 threes at 40%, like we need to figure out how to get more. And he's got to be a little bit more dynamic with the ball in his hands so he can get off more shots. And so each guy we're gonna individualize their plan and really trying to add things to their game so that they can increase their usage or be more efficient.
100%, G. It's a great move, man. Last one I got for you, brother. How you liking your Packers offseason so far, man? The moves got you excited a little bit, man.
It has. I think the biggest move is signing the safety they got, which is going to help them roam and be more aggressive defensively, be able to attack more. But then obviously Josh Jacobs is a big deal. Sad to see a couple of famous Packers go. Bakhtiari, who was a phenomenal offensive lineman, and Aaron Jones, the Packers for life, and we appreciate them. And it's just like the same players that leave Queens, man. We appreciate what they've done for us. But sometimes they are moving on to better pastures or the roster needs to take shape in a different way. And so all the new Packers, we're really excited to see them.
And you know what, G? I may be a little bit biased here, but I think as of right now, Jay Love might be the best quarterback in the NFC North right now.
Ooh, I like it. No, I think for sure, the Bears are going to have a rookie again. You know, how about the Packers haven't had a rookie quarterback start a game since 1987? How about that? Okay, and
Wow.
that's a big deal, and that's kind of like not having a rookie point guard. But the Vikings are going to have a new quarterback because Kirk Cousins is leaving, and obviously Detroit's been very stable. So we'll see, but I do think Jordan Love is those last 6-8 games he was phenomenal. So future is bright in Green Bay, even if there's not a lot of sun.
No doubt, man. Hey, I think you're in good hands with Jay Love, and I think I feel bad for Fields to a degree. He had to sit like Jay Love did. He would be way farther along than he is now. So there is a method to the madness of Green Bay doing something with Favre, Rodgers, and J Lo now. So I feel like Green Bay has something going up there for his quarterbacks to get them ready to play the right way when it's time for them to play.
Yeah, I mean, I've had people talk about that, like, hey, how come every team doesn't do that? Well, not every team has the luxury of being able to sit out a quarterback multiple years before they play. But the stability of the Packers organization and roster has been very fortunate. So now you're talking about almost 25 years since they've had a rookie quarterback play. And that's a huge deal. It's part of the reason why the Packers have been so stable as a franchise is they're able to make shrewd roster moves that are long term.
No doubt, man. I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys do. And just funny, everybody knows, G, I'm no Falcons fan at all. So I don't care that Kirk Cousins down. They can win, lose, or whatever. I could kill us about the Atlanta Falcons.
Kirk Magic coming to town. So we'll see how he does in the ATL. And obviously, me being in Charlotte so long, I'm a Panther fan. I get to go see a bunch of games each year, and I'm hoping that they can build a little better roster this year and be a little more competitive because it was rough these last 2 years.
Man, you know what? I think I just don't know, G, if I could give a guy on one Achilles 180, the 100 guaranteed, not knowing what he can do. That's
I agree.
That's something I might not would have done. I would may have just, hey, look, let me go with Justin Fields or anybody, but not a guy that I don't know. I'm giving you money off hope, not because I really know.
Yeah, yeah, and you never know how guys, especially that old, is going to recover from an Achilles, man. You just never know.
Yeah, man. So I'm looking forward to see how it goes, man. But gee, well, look at man. It's fun to do this show with you this year, man. We got to do it again next year as well, man. It was fun as hell, man. Good to see you and Tennessee as well, man. If I see you before that, of course, now. So we'll keep it going, my brother. No, obviously, always in your corner, my guy.
Appreciate you, JR. You're the best, man. We'll cross paths here soon.
Thanks, buddy. I'll see you soon, brother.